Introducing The Fiber, brought to you by Live Oak Fiber. This open forum is meant to inspire, empower, and set the record straight for consumers and better broadband enthusiasts alike. Thank you for tuning in to The Fiber, brought to you by Live Oak Fiber. I'm your host, Kimber McCafferty, and today I am joined by Anne Goodstein. She is creative director and partner at H2O Creative Group here in Brunswick, Georgia, and also founding CEP of Via Collective, Inc. Via Collective Inc. Let's go through all of this.
Right.
So
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. Where are you from originally?
If my accent doesn't give it away, I'm from France.
And how did you end up in Brunswick, Georgia?
Well, 20 years ago, my husband was commissioned to do some portraits, some artist work for a hotel that was just opening here on the Cloister. It was opening on Sea Island. And we joined him for 1 year with our 2 children and decided to extend the stay for a couple of years. And the kids were adjusting at school and then it's been 20 years. So I didn't speak any English. I was fully French, and now I'm like, I guess I have dual citizenship, and my kids call themselves Americans. So,
what keeps you attached to the area, if you will?
I found here a community. So I'm from a very small village, so I love small communities. Okay. And then moved to Paris, which is a fantastic city. It's beautiful and everything except when you're working mom. And especially in ad agencies, I was an executive in an ad agency, and the hours were brutal, and the requirement, or the expectations are of high work, high level work, and I just wanted to spend some time with my kids. And so when we moved here, I had that chance to just pick them up from school and be there for the rehearsals and be on the PTA, and I really enjoy this and met a lot of amazing women and friends, and started working as a freelance graphic designer. Because when I was in France, I was more on I was a journalist, but a corporate journalist. So working on corporate newsletters and everything from the ad agency side. But when I moved here, again, I didn't speak the language, so I had to do something else than just writing, because I couldn't in English. Yeah. And so I started graphic design, which had always been a passion of mine. And I freelance, and I started freelancing for H2O Creative Group, and I've been with them for 15 years.
So how long has H2O Creative Group been?
15 years.
Okay, so you were one of the first employees.
Right. So H2O started in February 2009, and I started freelancing at the same time and became an employee in July. So
what type of industries and businesses do you support?
So that's also something that really, to me, is so interesting with H2O, is we work with such a diverse group of,
I bet,
clients, like from small caterer, I'm thinking of Smokings, one of our amazing clients, just one guy business, to the King and Prince Seafood, which has, 3 locations and is an international business. So we really cater to all those diverse sizes businesses, and diverse in their in what they're doing as well. So we work for banks and restaurants and food service industries and all of that, which keeps me interested.
Absolutely. Well, I was going to say, there's probably peaks and valleys, like, to working in an agency in kind of smaller communities. What are some of the perks of being in smaller community and being able to kind of, I bet some of your clients become your friends, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's hard not to. I mean, it's the beauty of it. It's hard not to, but it's the beauty of it. But you know what? I was coming from a big agency, you have big budgets, and you can do pretty much anything you want. I thought that I was looking down at the type of work that I thought I would be doing, and then realized that actually the type of businesses and projects I'm working on are so interesting, and I work very closely now on the strategy as well, where in ad agencies it's very compartmented.
Yeah, compartmentalized. That's
compartmentalized, and so you have. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sometimes, so you have the graphic designer, and then the creative director, and then the account manager, and then the financial advisor, and you have the strategist, and all those people meet, but you don't have per se your hands into all of those. Where at H2O, I'm part of the discussion when we talk about giving a quote to a client, or when we talk about websites or digital marketing or any of those. And it's not just designing a logo, but also applying that logo on all the material that you'll develop for the client. So I love that that chance that we have to make a change in our community now. When I drive down on Newcastle, I see logos that I've designed, and I'm feeling that I'm part of the fabric of this community.
How much have you seen Brunswick change over the last 20 years? I would imagine quite a bit.
A lot. So when we came, H2 has been in downtown Brunswick since 2011, I believe. And it was just starting. Tipsy's had just opened, I believe. And so if you know anything about, downtown, it was pretty vibrant, or it was interesting. And then the economy, went, down, and the whole downtown just shut down, businesses after businesses. Tipsy stayed. Suzanne Bates, she really carried his business, and she pushed it forward. And H2O, also, we really believed in downtown. And then very slowly, Silver Bluff, first the Romery, Richland came, and then Silver Bluff, and then the small businesses. And now there is a momentum.
Sure.
And so everybody wants to be downtown Brunswick. So I guess we're lucky enough that we bought a house in 2007. And so now we're like, okay, we're loving it.
So you live and get to work right down here.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things also that keeps me here. I walk to go to work, and I walk to go to to any of the places I love going. Like I work, I'm a yoga teacher at a local Balance Yoga studio. So I just love that small village. Again, I'm from that small community mentality, and I love it.
Is your husband still painting? Because I'm wondering, from doing murals at the cloister to being here 20 years, what became of his career staying here?
So he took a very interesting, he made an interesting decision. He was starting to get some commissions, portraits, and, painting flowers and everything. His passion is in saving the world.
Okay.
So he became what I call a social artist, in a sense of he tackled subjects that no one wants to talk about.
Sure. Through art?
Through art.
Okay.
And so doesn't sell anything.
Okay.
Right now he's working on a mural, though, for the longest time he worked for, that's why he traveled a lot, for Hard Rock Cafe and then Planet Hollywood. Okay. And did Disney, in Hong Kong, just started that.
So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of those projects, big projects. But right now he just wants to work on, so he worked on Khmer Rouge, and he worked on the famine, in Africa. Yeah. And right now he's working on a project for a restaurant called Shroglo. They just opened at the corner of Albany and Gloucester. Mm-hmm. And it's a restaurant that I apologize for my husband because I'm not going to remember the exact dates. But this gentleman, Victor Hugo Green, started the Green book. And it was a book that Black people used to, so pre-segregation, used when they were traveling to identify the places where they could stay.
Okay.
And so every Black people traveling would know that Green Book. And it turns out that Troglo is on the location of one of the restaurant that was recommended by the Green Book. And so my husband has been working.
They just did a movie about this.
They did.
Yes, I watched it. It's a great movie.
Absolutely, yes. And so Brunswick had 2 locations, and one being Troglo. And so he's doing a mural and bringing, some of that history onto the mural.
Oh, that's fascinating. So I bet the two of you have excellent banter together with your creative mind and him being an artist. How does H2O, do you get a lot of referrals for your business, or how do you get new business?
We've been very lucky that it's an organic growth. So we have clients that started with us and have been with H2O for all those years, 15 years. And most of it is word of mouth.
Okay.
Referral, yes, absolutely, yes. Which I think, there are not a lot of competition in our area in the sense of companies like H2O offering photography and web and social and digital in one space. So you have talented graphic designers, and we have a few competitors. But the competitor I'm thinking about, they're doing something very different in terms of the type of work that they're offering.
Sure.
So we've been very lucky in that sense of just having people knocking at our door and just, wondering if we can start a logo, and then from the logo we design a website, and then we work on their material and annual reports and everything.
How many employees do you all have now?
We have 13 employees.
Okay.
14 now, actually. We just hired someone, so 14.
Okay. And for anybody listening, what would you say? We've talked a little bit about your services. What is the run of the gamut for H2O for anybody potentially interested?
As an employee or as
services.
A client? Services. So we're very solid in branding. That's my pride. We're very solid in branding. I believe in consistency. So when we are working on the logo, we make sure that we control, how the logo is applied on your menu, your website, your social media platforms, all the touch points. So branding is one of our forte, and then so is web design. Okay. And in photography too, we do a lot of videos for our clients, and we're very strong in that department as well. But I think, what makes H2O also special is we're a relationship, based company. Mm-hmm. So we're interested in having a relationship and a good time with our clients. I think that's what makes us also pretty special.
Where did you get the idea for Via Collective, and what is it?
So Via Collective, that's about 4 or 5 years ago. So pre-COVID, I guess a pre-C, PC. Pre-COVID, I was walking down the street on Newcastle and realized that a lot of businesses I was walking by were women-owned businesses and small businesses, from, again, Tipsy's to Mainstream Frame Shop, Wiregrass Studio, Market on Newcastle. I mean, I can, you can name them, and Fox's Pizza at the time. And we did not have a network per se for those women to meet. So I started a small group, very informal group. And we would meet at some of our client at the time, Radiant Counseling, and we would talk about pretty much anything. It was a small group of 15, 20 women, and then we expanded to a bit more than that. And then COVID, came and we shut down, everything. when we came back to it, we realized that it was a very special, safe place for us to talk about issues or subjects that were relevant to owning a business when you're a woman, or access to capital, or any kind of subjects. And we started inviting speakers and people that would just come to us and talk about mentorship, could be zoning, anything that was pertinent to what was happening in our area. And anytime I would go into the circles, I felt like my cup was filled up to, like overflowing, because I would get that that connection with women that I didn't have at work. It's it was male dominant. Now my partner, I've been a partner since 2016 at H2O. It was a male, dominant, group of partners, and I needed more feminine energy.
Sure.
And anytime I would go into those groups, I would feel inspired.
Sure.
And I wanted to offer this to any woman that I would meet. And so I started this nonprofit organization in 2021.
Okay.
And we started with just, again, small networking circles, and then decided to have a big event. And we started last year. We had our first women's conference. We had about 180 women, which was a big surprise to us, since we're just local.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic.
We're just starting, and we had about 16 speakers. It was mind blowing. It was women that I didn't know, or I had met, but then at that conference I felt like we were establishing a relationship beyond just being women. Then it was more than that. It was also people, just human connecting. It was not just women, of course, and that empowered the team that has been working with me to develop VIA, empowered us to do more of that. And so in November last year, we added one more event. We had an award ceremony, and the concept of that award ceremony was to recognize women that are not recognized in our communities, because they are, I'm going to make a general statement, but often women do not put themselves on the forefront of any success. It's not me, I'm okay, don't mention it, it's the organization, it's the company, it's somebody else. Or if we do it, it's again very humbly and modestly. Yet the work is done, and sometimes women that are succeeding in business also have to take care of the kids, to take care of the house. They have to be doubly successful if they want to do anything and succeed, because as much as I love men, there is also there is a space where women's voices are not necessarily heard, and again, to our own guilt, because we don't want that forefront, or we don't want the front page. And I wanted some of those women to be recognized. So we had 5 categories, servant leader, mentor, entrepreneur, innovator, and young leader. And we've asked our community of women to nominate the awardees, the potential awardees, and then we've asked an independent group of 1 man and 2 a student, and then someone out of this area to look at the applications. And on November 19th, we've awarded 5 women, and it was at the college. We were expecting 100 participants, and it was 200 seats were taken. It was standing room, and the energy in that room was absolutely uplifting. It was amazing to see women being recognized, because it wasn't just the 5 women who received the awards. It was also women understanding that their actions are noticed, that when you do something, you make an impact, you make a difference. And it was beautiful also to see, the youngest, some young people in the room just understanding that they have a chance themselves to, you have role models in those women.
What type of stories do they share? Are they personal stories or professional stories or both?
So the way in the conference and throughout the circles that we are developing, we're offering 3 type of we're focusing on 3 type of stories. The personal story, so the personal growth, because for a woman to be successful, again, it's not just having the degree and the diploma, is having access to childcare, being able to, having access to rest and mental health and all of that. So we talk about personal growth as being an important part of your success. We talk about professional growth and tips, and we also talk about professional growth, but in a holistic, from an holistic point of view, and we talk about failure and the power of failure and how to be able to succeed. We can admit that it takes bumps for us to get stronger. Against any failure is actually on the one more step towards success. And that we're only human and we don't have to be superwoman all the time. And then the third, personal growth, professional growth, and then the third path is community, because we also strongly believe that we as a collective have the responsibility to support and uplift each other. And the growth of women will happen with all of us being part of it. It's not just, a group. It's not just VI. It's going to take all of us to make women successful.
What are some of the things coming up next for VIA Collective?
So our event, we have our women's conference on March 9th at the library. We have, again, about 12 speakers. We have 2 keynote speakers and then a panel that will talk about community. The theme this year is Radiate. Last year it was Be Brave. And we had some hard discussions. And this year we've decided that to just take it to a brighter, theme, and having us talk about radiate strength and love and support and uplift and inspiring.
All the things that we ladies encompass.
Yes. Yeah.
What has your outreach been like? Have you had a good, it sounds like a success in terms of people that have shown up and supported. Does that growth look like it's going to continue? What are any of the challenges that you have faced?
So we've been extremely successful downtown Brunswick and around the Brunswick area. We were extremely intentional about reaching out to diverse groups in terms of age groups, sure. in terms of background and race and social economical background. I think that the message has been carried in Brunswick pretty well. Okay. I feel like our outreach is good. Now I'd like to include St. Simon's and Jekyll and Sea Island and expand. Okay. Because the growth has been very organic, and it's, my circle that expanded into small other circles that expanded. but it's still, we still need to grow, and I'd love for us to develop some circles also. We call our networks circles, to signify, the safe space, and then give the signify the sense that you're in an environment where your voice can radiate and expand, and I'd love for the circles to open maybe in Camden, or just different areas.
Sure. No, it's been around for 5 years now?
So the small groups, yes, but we the nonprofit started in 2021. And so we're trying to curate spaces for women to tell their stories, whether it's a professional or personal story, or talk about our communities. And we have so many projects. I would love to. One of the things that we've been trying to do is targeting small businesses and women-owned small business owned by women. So small business on small women-owned businesses. Getting this?
Yes.
So what I'd love for us to be able to establish in 2024 would be a what I call an advisory board.
Sure.
So if you're a small business, very often you have questions, and you don't necessarily know where to turn to seek advice. So what I'd love for us to be able to do, and if the goal is my goal is 24, but if it's 25, that would be beautiful to be able to do this, but to open the access for women to an advisory board, and people they could meet with that would be able to give them advices, whether it's financial or business advice, or simply just the support of someone listening to you.
This has got to be the only group of its type around here.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are some groups of women that are sororities, born from. They're an amazing group on St. Simon's, which is called 100 Women Who Care. So they're it's an amazing support group. There is a conference also on the island, which inspire women, but from a Christian, so a religious base. We're trying not to be affiliated with any political. There is also a political women's group here. We're trying not to be affiliated with any political, religious, group, but more. We're trying to target women with an entrepreneurial spirit.
Sure.
So, if you want to start a
business, I know a gal like that,
right?
Yeah.
But when you talk to women, they're fighters. We're warriors. They always have something that they want to start, and they see a brighter future for their sisters, their brothers, their sons, their husbands, their mom. I mean, it's like they're entrepreneurs at heart, and I think that such a group is pretty unique. And also, we've been extremely intentional about reaching out to diverse groups and bringing all of us together, where, again, the color, the social economical level, the education level, it does not matter. Sure. At the end of the day, and this is the beauty of our community, I truly believe that women in this community, we don't compete. Or the women that are coming to VIA, they do not compete. They support and mentor, they uplift, but see the value in building the community together. So really just moving each other into the fabric of this community. And I think that this has been an amazing success. The community that we're having a hard time connecting with has been the Hispanic community. Mm-hmm. So this year we're trying to intentionally, we're not trying, but intentionally we'll have sessions in our circles that are solely in Spanish.
Okay.
And yes, we're going to restrict, the number of people probably that will access those sessions, but also we'll send a strong message that the Hispanic community is a community of value to us. And if we want to be successful in our community and grow in our community, we're welcoming, the Hispanic people to be part of the growth and part of the prosperity of our community.
And for those of you looking to find out more information, it's viaconnects.org. That's viaconnects.org. And I'm sure you have a wealth of information on your website for anybody looking to find out more.
Yes.
And so you have an event coming up this Saturday. It's going to be March 9th, 9:30, and it goes until 4 o'clock?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So it's an all-day affair.
All day. That's it.
And what do you expect the turnout to be this year?
So we already have 130 tickets sold. So we think that we'll have, last year we were about 90, and then we doubled that number on the day of.
Oh, nice.
So maybe 200 this year.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
And where's it located at?
At the library, our local library.
The library.
And we have an amazing lineup of speakers. So
who's going to kick everything off?
So our Brunswick City Manager, Regina McDuffie, is going to welcome the women. Libby Cole, who is our secretary, and she's the speaker's whisperer. She's our powerhouse. She's going to welcome everybody as well. And then Shamika Fraser Sorrells, she is the co-founder of A Better Glen, will speak to us about, I'm not sure actually, but she will be our keynote speaker.
Surprises.
Surprises.
So that's viaconnects.org if you want to find out more about Anne's efforts here in bringing women together for the Women Conference 2024 that's happening this weekend. And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for giving me a space to share the story.
We really appreciate it and want to support and champion everything you have going on. And then H2O Creative Group is always a great creative space for anybody here in Brunswick. We utilized you guys, I know, when we were getting started. So that's how we met. And this has been great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in. To learn more about Live Oak Fiber, visit liveoakfiber.com and feel the flow.